Hey, if you're ready to break free from the grind and live a life that actually feels worth living, hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. Let's dive in. I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders years ago and screamed, "Your money or your life, choose now!" I was 27, drowning in a cubicle job that sucked my soul dry, chasing paychecks just to buy stuff I didn't need. My apartment was stuffed with gadgets, my closet overflowed with clothes I barely wore, and my bank account? It was a revolving door of debt and despair. Then I stumbled across Your Money or Your Life by Vicki and Joe Dominguez, and let me tell you, it was like a slap across the face. Their words hit hard. Money is something we trade our life energy for. I sat there, staring at my paycheck stub, realizing I was trading my entire existence for a life I didn't even like. Let me paint you a picture. 5 years ago, I was working 60-hour weeks at a marketing firm, convincing myself I was living the dream. I'd come home exhausted, collapse on the couch, and scroll through social media for hours, buying things online to feel something, anything. I had this ritual. Every Friday, I'd treat myself to a new gadget or a fancy dinner, thinking it'd fill the void. Spoiler alert, it didn't. My credit card balance was creeping up to $15,000, and I was living paycheck to paycheck despite earning a decent salary. I was 30 pounds overweight, sleep-deprived, and my friends stopped calling because I was too busy hustling. I was miserable, and I didn't even know it until I hit rock bottom. It was a Tuesday night, and I was alone in my apartment, eating takeout for the third time that week. My phone pinged with another overdraft alert, $30 fee, because apparently I couldn't even afford my $12 burrito. I remember sitting there, staring at the empty containers and thinking, is this it? Is this what my life's worth? That's when I picked up Your Money or Your Life, and one line burned itself into my brain. If you live for having it all, what you have is never enough. I realized I was chasing a mirage, more money, more stuff, more status. But it was costing me my health, my relationships, my time, my life. I started tracking every penny I spent, just like the book suggested. It was brutal. In 1 month, I spent $800 on coffee, takeout, and random Amazon purchases. $800! That was 20 hours of my life. Gone for what? A caffeine buzz and a pile of junk I didn't need. I calculated my real hourly wage, after taxes, commuting costs, and work-related expenses, and it was a measly $12 an hour. I was slaving away for less than what I paid my barista. That was my wake-up call. I wasn't rich. I was trapped. The book forced me to ask myself, what was my life energy worth? I looked at my calendar, packed with meetings and deadlines, and realized I had no time for the things that mattered. I hadn't seen my parents in months. I hadn't gone hiking, something I used to love, in over a year. I was living to work, not working to live. I felt like I was betraying myself every single day. The turning point came when I missed my best friend's wedding because I couldn't take time off. I sat in my car that night and cried, promising myself I'd change. I started small, cutting out mindless spending. No more impulse buys, no more $5 lattes. I sold half my wardrobe on eBay and made $200 money I used to pay down my credit card. I started cooking at home, not because I loved it, but because I wanted to stop trading my life for overpriced takeout. Slowly, I clawed my way out of debt. By the end of the first year, I'd paid off $7,000 and saved $3,000 for the first time in my life. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about reclaiming my time, my energy, my purpose. The hardest part? Facing the truth about my priorities. Your Money or Your Life didn't just teach me about budgeting, it forced me to confront why I was so obsessed with more. I was trying to fill a hole, loneliness, insecurity, fear of not being enough. I thought money would fix it, but it only made it worse. The book's 9-step program became my lifeline, guiding me to redefine what wealth really meant. Spoiler, it wasn't a bigger paycheck or a fancier car. It was freedom, peace, and time to live on my terms. This wasn't an overnight transformation. I stumbled a lot. There were weeks I'd slip back into old habits, scrolling Amazon late at night, or saying yes to overtime I didn't need. But each time I'd go back to the book's core question, is this worth my life energy? That question became my compass, steering me away from the chaos and towards something real. I'm not saying I'm perfect now, but I'm light years from the guy who cried over a burrito. Stick around, because I'm about to share exactly how I turned things around, and how you can too. I was done living like a zombie, trading my days for a paycheck that barely kept me afloat. Your money or your life didn't just wake me up, it gave me a blueprint to rebuild. Vicki and Joe Dominguez talk about aligning your spending with your values, and that hit me like a freight train. I realized I wasn't just wasting money, I was wasting my life. So I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. Here's how I clawed my way out of the mess and started living like I actually meant it. Step 1. I audited my life like a crime scene investigator. I pulled out my bank statements, credit card bills, and even my Venmo history. Every transaction from the past 3 months. It was ugly. Tallin' $200 on takeout, $600 on clothes I didn't wear, and $400 on subscriptions I forgot I even had. The book's advice was clear. Track every cent to see where your life energy is going. So, I created a spreadsheet, logging every dollar I spent. It wasn't sexy, but it was a wake-up call. I saw exactly how much of my life was slipping away on things that didn't matter. Step 2. I slashed everything that wasn't essential. I canceled subscriptions I didn't use. Goodbye, $15 a month meditation app I opened twice. I stopped eating out unless it was a special occasion. I even moved my phone charger out of my bedroom to kill my late-night scrolling habit. That one hurt, but it worked. In your money or your life, they say, no shame, no blame, just change. That became my mantra. I wasn't punishing myself. I was choosing what deserved my energy. Within 2 months, I cut my monthly spending by 30%. That's $900 I wasn't throwing into the void anymore. Step 3. I redefined what enough meant. The book asks you to figure out what fulfills you without costing a fortune. For me, it was hiking and spending time with people I cared about. I started saying no to happy hours, and yes to free meetups in the park. I traded my $200 a month gym membership for running trails with friends. I even started a book club, not just to save money, but to reconnect with people who mattered. One quote from the book stuck with me. Wealth is not having more, but wanting less. That shift in mindset saved me thousands and gave me back my weekends. Step 4. I built a safety net. I'd never saved money before. Every extra dollar went to treating myself. But the book's emphasis on financial independence lit a fire under me. I set up an automatic transfer to a savings account, $200 a month, no excuses. It wasn't much, but it grew. By year 2, I had $5,000 in an emergency fund. That cushion meant I could say no to soul-crushing overtime, and yes to taking a week off to visit my family. For the first time, I felt like I had options, not just obligations. Step 5. I invested in myself. Instead of blowing money on stuff, I spent it on skills. I took a $300 online course in graphic design, something I'd always wanted to try. 6 months later, I was freelancing on the side, pulling in $1,000 a month. That extra income went straight to paying off my remaining $8,000 in debt. The book talks about money as a tool for freedom, not a status symbol, and I finally got it. Every dollar I earned was a step toward owning my time, not just surviving. The results? Night and day. Before, I was stressed, overweight, and isolated, with zero savings and a maxed-out credit card. After 2 years of following these steps, I was debt-free, 25 pounds lighter, and closer to my friends than ever. I even quit my toxic job for one with better hours and a 20% pay cut, because I realized time was worth more than money. My savings hit $10,000, enough to cover 6 months of expenses. I started sleeping better, laughing more, and feeling like my life was mine again. Was it easy? Hell no. There were days I wanted to order pizza and binge Netflix instead of cooking or budgeting. But every time I slipped, I'd ask myself, is this worth my life energy? That question, straight from the book, kept me grounded. It wasn't about deprivation, it was about intention. I wasn't just saving money, I was saving myself. If you're stuck in the same cycle I was, these steps can work for you too. It's not about being perfect, it's about starting where you are and choosing what matters. So, here I am, debt-free, with savings in the bank and a life that feels like it's actually mine. But let's be real, this isn't just about me. It's about you. Sitting there, maybe feeling trapped, scrolling through your phone, wondering why your paycheck vanishes before the month does. I've been there, and I'm telling you, you don't have to stay stuck. Your money or your life didn't just change my bank account, it changed how I see my entire existence. Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez said it best. When you take charge of your money, you take charge of your life. That's not just a catchy line, it's a battle cry. So, what's it going to be? Your money or your life? Here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for a rock-bottom moment like I did. Start now. Grab a notebook, open your banking app, and track every dollar you've spent this month. You'll be shocked. I was. That $4 coffee you grab every morning? That's $120 a month, nearly $2,500 a year, 40 hours of your life energy, gone. Ask yourself, like I did, is this worth it? If it's not, cut it. Cancel that unused subscription, skip the impulse buys, and start small. Move $50 to a savings account this week. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be a choice. Every dollar you save is a step toward freedom. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. I didn't. But you do need to decide what matters more: the endless grind for stuff or a life that lights you up. For me, it was hiking trails, laughing with friends, and never missing another family moment. What's it for you? Maybe it's traveling, starting a side hustle, or just having time to breathe. Whatever it is, your money or your life can guide you there. Pick up the book, read it, and do the exercises. They're not fancy, but they work. My favorite takeaway? You are not your job, your bank account, or your possessions. Let that sink in. You are enough, and your life is worth more than the next shiny thing. Now, here's where you come in. If you're ready to stop trading your life for a paycheck that doesn't satisfy, hit that subscribe button. Join this community of people who are done with the rat race and ready to live intentionally. I'm dropping videos every week with real tips, real stories, and real ways to take back your time and money. Don't just watch. Act. Try one step from the book this week. Maybe it's tracking your spending or saying no to one unnecessary purchase. Share your story in the comments. What's one thing you're spending money on that's not worth your life energy? Or, better yet, what's one thing you want to start doing with the time and money you save? This isn't about getting rich quick or living like a monk. It's about choosing you. I went from a $15,000 debt hole to financial freedom in 2 years. Not because I'm special, but because I decided my life was worth more than my stuff. You can do this. Start today, right now, with one small choice. Your future self, the one who's free, happy, and living on their terms, is begging you to take that step. So, what's it going to be? Your money or your life? Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and let's make that choice together.